we're going to Alaska. As you know, we're publishing a book series. Each book takes place in Alaska, and I was really excited because my book takes place on a reindeer ranch. And guess what? We have a celebrity here. This is Jane Atkinson, and she owns the Running Reindeer Ranch in Fairbanks, Alaska. And it is absolutely the most spectacular place. I can't wait for you to hear about it. I'll just give you a little hint. They have the most amazing things you can see there. Special reindeer walks. You can participate in the care. You can do yoga with reindeer. You can even stay overnight there. So I want to go. I really do. I'm ready to book my ticket. But I thought it would be fun just to get to know Jane and to hear some amazing things about her reindeer ranch.
Yeah, well, I can say it wasn't my idea. But when my daughter, she was about 10, she really wanted a livestock animal. I got her all kinds of other little critters, hamsters and guinea pigs and rabbits and a chinchilla, and she got some fish and a turtle, and she got some chickens and some little finches. But what she really wanted was a livestock animal. So she asked for a horse. Well, I'm allergic to horses, so I could not have a horse here. That's a terrible thing. I couldn't have a horse. So then she thought goats would be a great idea. But I am a gardener. That is what I love more than anything in the world, is to garden. And here in Alaska, in Fairbanks, in the middle of Alaska, we have only about 100 days to grow our garden here. Otherwise, it's frosting and snowing. And so it's a quick season. And I can grow all kinds of amazing things in that garden. But when the goat destroys your garden, that's the end of it. We don't have a chance to do it. And goats always like to destroy gardens. So I don't believe in living with goats. So then she suggested sheep. And I thought, no, honey, sheep, it gets very cold here. It's very hard to live here. I said, no, they can't handle this. So, so one day we were driving through the university, and they had a big research reindeer farm there. And I was looking at those reindeer, and I thought, I wonder about reindeer. And she was sitting in the back seat, and she's like, yes, Mom, I love reindeer. I love reindeer. So I told her if she wanted reindeer, she had to go do the research and the fundraising. And it took her quite a while. She did a lot of research, and all of her science fair projects and English papers and social studies reports, all about reindeer and caribou. And she raised the money by making and selling homemade cookie dough.
I mean, what makes that particular animal just something that you feel passionate about?
Yeah, they really are amazing animals. And I guess one of the big things is that living here in Alaska, where weather is so extreme, there are livestock animals that are completely adapted to living here in the Arctic. Every system in their body has an adaptation for living here in the Arctic. And so in the wintertime, when it gets 40, 50, 60 below zero here, the reindeer are perfectly comfortable. They don't need a barn or anything. They're designed to live in this kind of weather. And the other amazing thing about them is that when the snow comes, they switch over and they eat snow. We do not have to provide water for them in the winter. Wow. So that's a big thing. I can heat water, but hauling water out to the fields, and that's a whole nother thing. It's very difficult to do here. So
that's something I did not know. I did not know that they can eat snow. That's interesting.
So they prefer it, and it's actually better for them to eat snow than drink water.
I was watching some of your education videos, and there's this myth that reindeer eat carrots because of the whole Santa thing. But I've been reading that's not actually true. Can you fill us in on the real truth about that?
The most favorite food of reindeer are leaves in the summertime. So they eat the leaves of trees, and they love carrot leaves, but they don't really love carrot roots. So they just like different kinds of leaves. And here in Alaska, some of their very favorite leaves are birch leaves from the birch trees, and also willow leaves. And there's actually more protein in a pound of willow leaves than there is in a pound of beef steak.
Is that right?
So it's very nutritious.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very, very nutritious stuff. So in the summer, they eat all these leaves and they put on, build new antlers and fur and fat, and they just eat, eat, eat. Now I'm lucky because I can also feed them a commercial feed, and it's a recipe, a pelleted feed that the university here developed. And so I'm able to buy that. And my reindeer in the summer, I have a herd of 12 reindeer, and they eat about 150 pounds of commercial feed a day.
Wow.
And then we bring in a whole bunch of brush for them every day, and then they also are out grazing and eating leaves out in the in nature every day on our ranch here. So they have big hearty appetites in the summer months, but then in the winter they go on a metabolic shutdown and they eat just a quarter of that. They really don't eat very much in the winter. And in nature, what they prefer to eat is lichen. They definitely have very individual personalities. And if you come to visit my ranch, I introduce each reindeer and kind of a little quirk about them. Well, so Juniper, she is one of my reindeer that she's a yearling. So she'll be 2 next month. And during the summer, you had mentioned that we do yoga with our reindeer. And
that was amazing. Those pictures are amazing on your website.
Yeah, it's really fun. We have a really good time, and it's a nice time. It's a really good yoga experience, but it's also a nice time to just be close to the reindeer and observing them and listening to them. Anyways, there's all kinds of great things. But if you are doing yoga with Juniper, she goes through and she checks out everybody's yoga mat. She'll go and sniff it and maybe paw at it, kind of figure it out. She goes from one to the other to the other. She goes all over them. She finds the one that she likes the most. She'll go back to that one, and then she'll get the owner off the mat and lay down on it.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So, what would you say is is the most challenging thing about caring and having a business revolving around reindeer?
I think the most challenging thing is it is common for a vet to look at them more in livestock animals and a cost benefit analysis for care. And but they're my pets, and so I want them to have all the kind of care that they can have. And there's not really great facilities for caring for these guys. So we've kind of got our things set up. We've done, converted our garage into a surgery floor, and we've done various different things to accommodate that. But that's probably the biggest thing. And of course, it's always terrible when you need to call the vet and have issues with your herd and stuff. So
Jane, take us through like your daily chores, like just on a typical day. What does your day look like?
Yeah, so if so on a typical day, we have a tour. So we invite visitors here to help us take our reindeer out for a walk in the forest. And so we start the day, get up and we feed the reindeer. I have a couple of them that have to have medicine. And so we give them their medicine, we feed them, we clean up the pen and make sure it's all nice and clean and tidy for them. And then I go down and I bake cookies for my guests. So my daughter made and sold homemade cookie dough to buy these reindeer. And so every day for our guests, I bake a fresh batch of cookies for them.
That's
that cookies on recipes on our website, and also our Facebook page. It's a great cookie recipe. But so I bake cookies, and then in the winter months we also serve hot chocolate, and in the summer we serve our guests lemonade to go with those cookies. So get that set up, and then we come up and we halter the reindeer. When they come out of their pen, they wear a halter, and that's for two reasons: so that everybody knows that they are reindeer and not caribou, that they're owned by someone, they're not wild animals. And that also, if we need to get a hold of one of the reindeer, we have something to hang on to them with. So we can snap a lead rope on them. They all walk on lead ropes. They're all beautiful lead rope walkers. But so then when the guests come, we get them all signed in, and I cover some safety information about how to be around the reindeer. And then the reindeer come out, we go for a walk, and we share information about them, their personalities, and their adaptations for living here in the Arctic. And then we finish our walk, and then the reindeer at that point are ready to go back into the pen and eat some stuff. So while they're out walking, they're just kind of foraging out in the forest and getting all kinds of good stuff. But they top off on their food dishes, and then they lay down and rest and digest and chew their cud. They're ruminants, so they've got the four-chambered stomach, so then they rest and chew that cud up. And then we will feed them in the evening, and again, give them their evening medications, and then they're kind of tucked in and ready for bed. But we may also go out in the summer months and harvest brush to bring in for them, or we go out and harvest lichen for them. So we go up to the tundra and collect that, and then we dry it through the summer months and store it for winter. So we actually do all kinds of things. We may tend the garden. We do all kinds of different things here during the summer.
Well, now let me close with this then. This is something I've been wondering about. What do you hope your guests take away after their visit to you, or what feeling or what thoughts or what experience do you feel like you want them to take away after visiting your running reindeer ranch?
Mm-hmm. So it's really important to me that when people come to visit my reindeer, that they understand what amazing animals they are and what kinds of amazing adaptations they have for living in the Arctic. And also that they have very unique individual personalities. So we don't do a petting zoo kind of experience where you come in and feed them and walk out. If you come to visit my reindeer, you need to invest some time into really learning about them so that you can really fully appreciate them and their adaptations and the hardships that they survive in the wild out there, the wild caribou. So I want people to really respect that. I remember when I went to Norway to visit the Sami, the indigenous reindeer herding people out there, there were reindeer all over the place. And when I talked about to the local people, not the Samis, but other people who live in Norway, they really didn't know much about reindeer. And what it made me realize is that, I drive through and there's cows everywhere, and I don't really know much about cows. Maybe there's some amazing, interesting things about cows that I don't know about. But it made me realize that there are really amazing things about reindeer, and I want everyone to just get a glimmer. We're only together for a couple hours, and I wish I could keep people for 4 days because there's so much to just talk about. So we just kind of cover the surface of things. I love it when people ask me questions about the reindeer and I can get a little deeper into something else, but there's so much to them. And they do indeed have such interesting, complex personalities too.
I just want to say thank you very much. You have made my day. I've been so looking forward to talking to you. It was lovely, lovely, lovely to visit with you. Thanks very
Uh,
much.